How we doing, Ron? It's nice to be back in front of the camera. We've got our basketball set up, obviously football season done, and we're ready for some basketball season. You ready?
Oh yeah. I'm going out to cover Nebraska Wesleyan tonight on Wednesday, and then obviously tomorrow night it all gets started on the high school scene.
Right. College basketball started, but high school, everything gets going tomorrow. You want to kind of give a quick rundown? We can start in Class A. Whatever works best. What are you seeing in Class A this year?
Right off the bat, the Class A's have these 14 pods that they play on the first weekend. All the first round games are Thursday night, and then the finals are on Saturday. There are some unbelievable good matchups for Thursday. Yeah, we got Bellevue West, who's going to start #1 at Kearney. That's a top 5 matchup there. Omaha Bryant at Omaha Central. Locally, Lincoln North Star, who has Donovan Williams, the Nebraska recruit. They're at Omaha West Side tomorrow night, and that's a matchup of #6 West Side, #8 North Star, and then Millard North, who's going to start #3, and they have a guard who has been offered by Nebraska, Hunter Salas, a sophomore. They're going to be at Lincoln Southwest, another team that's probably top 10 caliber as well.
So these ratings that are coming out, that are online right now in the paper tomorrow, there could be big shakeups after this first weekend.
Well, yeah, you're going to see teams move around a lot. I think there's a lot of parity out there this year, and I think it's a good kind of parity. I think there's some very strong teams, very good talent in the state this year.
Absolutely. Now, if you jump from Class A down to Class B, what are you working with, looking at your ratings, and then this first weekend?
Well, we're looking at Omaha, Scott, Omaha, and York. Obviously 2 schools from the football season that had great seasons.
Right.
But York's got some injuries. Of course, Garrett Snodgrass had the injury during football, and it's uncertain when he's going to be back for York. And then obviously Scott, they've got 3 starters back from last year from a team that had York down by 9 in the state finals, and ended up losing in double overtime. In the last minute, York overcame that deficit.
Right.
And then you've got Pius. They're kind of the team that everyone's not quite sure about, because they dropped down from Class A. They're playing a Class A schedule this winter.
Right.
So they will play Scott regular season in January, but that's really the only Class B team they're going to have on the schedule.
And you mentioned it in the ratings, I believe, but Pius obviously has a great advantage going into the year with those wild card points, playing so many Class A teams.
Right. They get 2 bonus points for each Class A team they play. So, they're going to have, if they do well against the Class A schedule, they could very easily be the #1 seed going into districts at the top of the wild card standings. But Omaha Scott, Tyson Gordon, that's a familiar name from football.
Yeah.
Great basketball player. Brady Danielson from York, returning All-Stater. Great football player, great basketball player. Pius has a really good point guard, Charlie Easley. He's getting some Division I looks as well. Locally, Seward also. Nate Litteris, 6'7", senior, kind of a forward type, likes to play outside. Right. He is headed to Longwood next year, and they've got a lot of length on that team too.
And you have Seward at #5 right now in the ratings, behind Bennington, and then Pius, which is 3rd.
Right.
So moving on, now if you look at Class C1, what are you working with in C1?
Well, you got Lincoln Christian. Right. I put them on top. They finished 3rd at the state tournament last year. Right. They've got a lot of the pieces back from that team. Justin Bubach, 6'5" junior.
Right.
He's going to be getting some Division I looks. He's kind of the all-state, the centerpiece of that team. Okay. So, and then of course, you got Adams Central that's got 4 starters back from a 15-10 team. And then of course Newman, who was state champions in 2016-2017. They look like they've got the kind of team that could challenge. Wahoo, the defending state champ, no returning starters back, but
right.
they got a player that came off the bench that is going Division II, Winston Cook, and he is going to be an all-state type player this year.
Of course, Wahoo went 27-2 last year, and you said they lost all 5 of the main players there, but Winston Cook, heck of a player. Now, if you jump down to Class C2, Ponca, obviously 30-1 last season. You have them at #1 in the ratings.
Only 1 starter back, but that 1 starter happens to be Carter Kingsbury.
Right.
And let me tell you, he is a nice centerpiece to that team. they will definitely be in contention for a state title.
And this is another class where if you look at a top player like Jackson Hirschfield, he's a player who made some plays in football and is also leading the basketball team as well.
Right, yeah. He's been a basketball first kid for a while, and now I think football's maybe kind of in the equation a little bit. He's got offers in both sports. They will pick up Cooper Gearhand, who was unable to play in football season because of a foot injury, but it looks like he's going to be ready to go for basketball. He averaged 15 points a game last year as a freshman.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
They will be a factor. I got BRLD number 2 right ahead of Centennial. BRLD was 26-3 last year and bring back 3 starters.
Yeah. So then jumping down, you're in Class D1. You have Fullerton there at number 1, but Kennesaw 28-1 last year at number 2.
Yeah, Fullerton's got all 5 starters back from last year.
It's a heck of a setup.
And of course, they've got Brent Witovic, who is a track star, but he's also 6'5".
Right.
So,
so he can do both.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And they've got several players that are very good. Brandon Rasmussen is probably their all-star type player. He averaged 16.2 a game last year. So, and of course, Lord Central Catholic has won the last 3 state championships in D1. Unfortunately, they have to replace their top 6 scorers from last year.
So it'll be impressive if they come out and win that 4-peat right there. If you jump down to Class D2, obviously Johnson Brock at 1 and Fall City Sacred Heart at 2.
Yeah. So what's new from the fall?
Right.
Fall City Sacred Heart won this thing last year. Right. Johnson Brock was in D1 last year. But, Sacred Heart has Drew Bippus back. He was a first-team All-Stater. And Tyler Witt, he was second-team All-State last year. It's a pretty good place to start for them. And, of course, Johnson Brock has Ty Hahn, Caden Glenn, a couple familiar names.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Ty Hahn, again, he was another guy who was probably basketball first, and now he's starting to look at football. In fact, I think football is probably the direction he's going to go in college. But yeah, there'll be some good matchups in the regular season. Johnson Brock and Sacred Heart will probably run into each other a couple times at least. So.
Absolutely. So there's your ratings now. Kind of give a glimpse of what everyone can find in the paper tomorrow. I know you've got the ratings, some capsules on some teams, and then 3 things to watch, things like that.
Right. Yeah. That you basically hit it all. We've got the ratings. We've got city basketball capsules in there. A couple of stories. Got a story on North Star and Donovan Williams in there. And then online will be the area capsules in B, C1, C2, D1, and D2.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you can follow Prep Extra on Facebook and Prep Extra on Twitter for nonstop action. We pretty much now, we're in it now. Once all this is out today, tomorrow starts it. It's going to be nonstop until state tournament time.
Well, no, we'll have a stop. There's a 5-day moratorium in December around Christmas, so we'll all catch a break there.
Good. Well, final thoughts going into the season tomorrow?
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it for us. Ron Powell, Alec McChesney. Have a good night.